up in the morning edition, charges will be filed and heads will roll for the PMH cooling unit sabotage. Drones are up and out there. And it's regatta time. Let's go down to Smith's Point. It's hump day, which means the weekend is only 2 days away. Welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks for waking up with us. Our Independence Clue-In continues this week, so stay tuned and keep watching for those clues. Each day, call out Charles Fisher at 502-3880 with the 5 clues in the correct order and win your weekend stay at Comfort Suites. First things first, though, let's see what weather is in store for us. Here's Bank of the Bahamas weather report with Morning Edition's weatherman, Basil Dean.
Report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Well, good morning to you, LaDawn. We get started with our ZNS Tower camera, and it's picking up some low-level clouds over the eastern entrance to Nassau Harbor. Will that state of the sky continue? Well, stay tuned. The details coming up later in the newscast. As we go to our satellite picture, you can see that we still have that little trough over the extreme northwest Bahamas. We anticipate that it will back off towards the west, and that could give rise to some clearing over the extreme northwest Bahamas later on today. Otherwise, high pressure remains in control of our weather over the next couple of days. Outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity 83%, easterly winds at 5 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,019.7 millibars, that's 30.11 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 81, 80 in Green Torquay, Freeport 80 degrees, the Berry Islands 82, 83 in Alistown, Bimini, 82 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera 81, Otterstown, Cat Island 82, Staniel Key, Kemp Space, St. Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros all reported 81 degrees this morning. San Salvador and Rum Key 82 degrees. In Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, more 82s there. 81 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, Machitani, Nagua, the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast for today: in the northwest and central islands, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Your high tide takes place at 7:54 this morning, low tide at 1:56 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas, caution flags are up, winds are out of the east to southeast, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. And that's going to do it for your first look at weather in the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. The Bahamas' first traffic report is up next with Jimenita Swain and the traffic team.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Hey, check this one up, boy.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from Village Road. Now, it's not too busy traffic-wise this morning, but nonetheless, a beautiful morning shaping up. To talk about some of the areas of concern traffic-wise, here we now turn to Sergeant Jerome Thompson of the Police Traffic Division. Good morning, Sergeant Thompson.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas.
Now, obviously, in this Village Road area, from time to time when it gets busy, it seems that persons or motorists don't have a clear idea of how to use the lanes, particularly when to merge. Talk to us a little bit about what they need to know. Just remind us.
Okay, motorists need to be mindful. There's a dual carriageway coming from the Wolf Road Junction. But as when you reach this location here, the lanes merge into one. The persons in the left lane, they have to give way to the persons on the right lane, traveling north on Village Road here.
So that's basically, it's pretty simple. They just need to pay attention and do what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to pay attention and do what they need to do, and also to practice patience. Persons in the left lane sometimes, they'll try to be impatient and force their way through, and sometimes we have a bottleneck in this area.
Now, I know that traffic officers have been very busy within the last 48 hours. I think you have issued quite a number of tickets, over 100 actually. You want to tell us a little bit about that operation and what were some of the, reasons for those tickets?
Yes, in the past 48 hours, we have issued some 153 tickets. On Monday, we had a speed check on JFK Drive, and we know that is an area that plagues us with fatalities and serious accidents, and just generally crashes in general. And we wanted to see a downward curve in that regard. So in order to have that, we have to have education. And my favorite E-word is enforcement. And that is one of the better teaching tools, enforcement. Because once you ticket persons, they would know not to commit the offenses again, or they'll have that in their minds that, hey, we could possibly pop up from anywhere. And then we came to the inner city in the Carmichael Golden Gates area, where we issued many tickets for persons who are driving unlicensed vehicles, also persons who don't have driver's license and their vehicles are not insured, and also persons with a lot of outstanding warrants, and persons who have bolos, suspected persons for other serious crimes. So we're cracking down, we're trying to clean up our streets and change the behavior of motorists in our country.
Well, thank you so much. That is, of course, Sergeant Jerome Thompson of the Police Traffic Division. Of course, one of the key words he mentioned there is enforcement. So if you don't want to be a part of the crew being ticketed, I suggest that you follow the rules of the road. Back to you in Studio LaDon.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Anita, now on to our top story this morning. Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Dwayne Sands, says charges could be pending if a police investigation proves chillers in the critical care block of the Princess Margaret Hospital were sabotaged. The Public Hospitals Authority announced last week that major surgeries were suspended after a possible sabotage of its chiller system and that elective surgeries were being suspended. The allegations also had Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson demanding that evidence of a sabotage by his members be produced. Sands addressed the issue outside of cabinet yesterday.
At no time did the PHA or the ministry say anything about members of the BPSU or any other union. We have made a decision that the results of the investigation, if there are findings, and if there are recommendations for prosecution, we will proceed to prosecution. And justice should be served. So let the chips fall as they may, no matter who it is that's involved.
200 young Bahamians are enrolled in the 2019 cohort training exercise at the National Training Agency for the summer. With hospitality leading the way in skills training, the new class will receive training in a number of disciplines. Executive Director Gadville McDonald says he is pleased to see an increase in participants within the newly implemented Divers program.
In our cohort going on now at the National Training, we call it our summer cohort, and we're surprised at the numbers. As a matter of fact, the National Dive program, where they will be able to get certification in diving and fishing, we have about 30 individuals involved in that. 8 of them are actually females. That is progressing very well, getting them prepared to be certified as divers and fishers by the end of August for sure. As a matter of fact, a number of them are going to be going on internship during the month of August on fishing boats, and so the experience is great.
Well, ordering packages from Amazon just got a whole lot easier, and that little fact is how Abaco native Robert Sweeting came up with the idea for his company Fly Drone, a tech company that hopes to make deliveries to locations on the Family Islands a little more accessible using, you guessed it, drones.
Airplanes that require runways and infrastructure, our drones can take off and land vertically like a helicopter, but they can fly long range like an aircraft. So that's going to allow us to bring items from perishables to medicine.
It's time for the Junkanoo drums to roll. The Ministry of Tourism's Junkanoo Summer Festival is up and ready to go. Here to tell us all about it is Charity Umbrister, Director of Events, and Jared Cartwright, a Glick sponsor. Lady, gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So talk to us a little bit about Junkanoo Summer Festival and its existence.
Okay, so we start for 4 weeks from July 20th, which is Saturday coming, until August 10th. And this year, the theme is the islands of the Bahamas. We're more than sun, sand, and sea. And each week, we will highlight different family islands. Mm-hmm. And so we're starting from down south with those islands, Maikal, Meguana, all of those, Long Island, and Exuma. And so we've asked the Junkanoo groups as well as the food vendors, the artisans, to bring it from each island every week that we will be highlighting. And so the first week we have Genesis, Redland Soldiers, and Roots performing. And we have an array of entertainment every night. A lot of the top bands and performers. We have the police band will be performing, and we also will be doing a golden ticket, which means every Thursday you have to look in the Guardian, complete the form, clip it out, and bring it to Junkanoo Summer Festival and drop it in the box, and you have an opportunity to win numerous prizes. Really, you know, we said it's hot and sizzling this summer, but Junkanoo Summer Festival is cool food, cool drinks, cool entertainment.
So will all of the Junkanoo groups take part, or just Genesis?
All of the Junkanoo groups will take part, but the first week, those are the ones that are up first. And so every week we have A groups and B groups performing.
How important is it to host an event like this?
Oh, it's very important. It's important for us to keep our culture alive, and also to provide an avenue for the visitors to get to know us better as Bahamians, and give them an opportunity to spend some of that money with us.
And Jared, talk to us about sponsorship by Kalik at the Summer Festival this year.
Well, you know, Kalik is the Bear of the Bahamas, so with Junkanoo Summer Festival being a cultural event, it was a no-brainer. It's important for us to keep the culture alive, and Kalik is all aboard.
How important is it for corporate Bahamas?
And so is Rev. Rev is also one of our major sponsors, and so it is important to have corporate Bahamas come on board. And we have some numerous other sponsors as well. And so we encourage all of you who want to be a part of it. It's not too late.
Charity Brister, Jared Cartwright, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay close. We've got more news right after this. You're watching the Morning Edition.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow, finally! A bank that's looking out for me. What you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
Miss Fidelity, you ain't hear me. Where do I sign?
But I watch the morning show because I'm usually up at that time, and I normally watch it for the entertainment.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. They say your gift will make room for you. Well, that is certainly the case for the St. George's High School Performing Arts Department. 7 students are the recipients of scholarships, and those who remain behind say they are excited to see what the future holds. Shashina Rowe-Farquharson of our Northern Service reports.
If you're on Facebook, chances are by now you probably would have seen a viral video of the Jags pop band doing what they do best. But what you may not know is that this St. George's High School band has paved the way for 7 of its 14 members to be the recipients of scholarships to colleges and universities abroad, among them Ray Andre Roberts.
I wasn't even happy for myself. I was actually happy for my parents because I know what the process would have been going through trying to get to college. So now that they don't have to pay anything, that's God.
I got so much honey, the bees envy me. Oh yeah.
Wilbert Stubbs Jr. received $20,000 in scholarships.
I would say for me personally, each performance we had was a different experience for me because I get to interact with new people and, just different genre of music we was able to perform, and it just opened a lot of doors of opportunity for us.
Charlton Roll is the recipient of an academic scholarship, but he says his involvement in the band started off with him assisting with equipment. Thanks to teacher Keith Saunders, he now carries a guitar that he refers to as his baby.
I started off just helping out with equipment, and next thing you know, thanks to this teacher right here, Mr. Saunders, I was able to be a part of the pop band, become the lead brass member.
These students say they have worked extremely hard over the years to build the Jags Pop Band, a group that has performed throughout Grand Bahama and nationally.
When I see the response from the community, it's great.
Joining the pop band, like seeing those who are about to graduate, I see that the memory they have left, the standards we have to keep up to.
But they say it could not have been done without the dedication and commitment of their teachers, Shakita Stubbs and Keith Saunders.
And I am extremely proud of everything that they've accomplished, all the scholarships that they have received. The sky is the limit from here for them.
I'm pretty personally proud of a lot of them for what they've accomplished, and like Ms. Stubbs said earlier, what is in store for them later in the future.
Say get involved, get involved.
Shashina Wolf-Farquharson, ZMS Network News.
Great story there, Shashina. It's regatta time down in Smiths Point, Grand Bahama. Our Ramiko Knowles is in Smiths Point chatting with boat builder Luther Ferguson. He filed this report.
24th annual regatta and homecoming is underway, and I'm sitting with boat builder Luther Ferguson. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Tell us, for the people that don't know, how long have you been building these sailboats?
Building the sailboat from 2004. This time around, I was pressured to build a E-class, which is a 12-footer. My father and my brother, Elijah Ferguson, and my brother Burnt Ferguson, which is in South Andres, asked me to build an E-class boat for them. And I told them, give me some time to be in Andrews, and I would set it up for them and see how well I can complete it for them. We went in the regatta. We came third overall with that same boat, and the name of that boat is I Can't Believe It.
And walk us through the process from start to finish about building a boat.
From start to finish, it's anywhere between $15,000 to get it built, completed, sail, 3 sails. They need ballast, like about 250 pounds of lead. You need the horse flesh wood for framing. You need the pressure treated 2x8, 2x10 for keel. Then you also make the transom of that boat out of that same pressure treated wood. But now that you also need some stainless steel, everything. Stainless steel screws, bolts, etc. Leg bolt, and you need Regan wires for your jib stage. You need glue, at least about 3 gallons of glue to put your plank together and to laminate it, and that's the paint, that need the paint and the primer and all kind of stuff you need.
You mentioned earlier that this was the first 12-foot E-class boat that you built. What took so long?
My desire was always to build a D-class, which is the 16-footer, and the C-class, which is the 17-footer, because I have a 16-footer in Andrews now that they discontinued the regatta with, which is the D-class. I've never ever ridden for years. I went down as the champion, and that name of that boat is after my wife, Lady Myrtle. And you can ask anyone in South Andres. Mangrove Key, South, never lose a race. Never ever lose a race. But
it sounds like Luther's demand to see the boats you building, they come in 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And it's already confirmed that Lady Myrtle was never on the race. Like, what do you do that's different from everybody else?
We never change crew in our boat. We stick to the same crew, and we found the trim of the boat. So if you weigh a certain weight, we try to maintain the same weight level, because the boat performs at a certain weight level. And if that weight is too much, it's going to cramp the boat. The boat is going to drag under the water too much. You want your boat sitting on top of the water, sail on top of the water, rather than in the water.
We're going to have to go to Andrews to confirm that. He said Lady Myrtle has never lost a race. We're going to be coming to South Andrews and we're going to confirm that. What are some of the things that you would like to see in regards going forward?
I would love to see the young guys, the young youths, get involved in Regatta more, you know, because it gives them something constructive to do, and it allowed the people in the community, the parents, to get involved also when the kids get involved. And I want to see the E-Class take off.
Take off. Well, that's been Luther Ferguson, an E-Class boat builder here for Regatta 2019.
Instead of living a normal teenage life, 17-year-old Tiana Saunders has been fighting for her life. Catherine Gomez has a story.
No matter what, it's in God's hand, and He's going to help you through it.
17-year-old Tiana Saunders has just graduated government high. But instead of celebrating, she is battling Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a form of cancer. Tiana says she's been healthy all her life, so this was truly unexpected.
It was very hard at first because I just started grade 12. Like 2 weeks after, I had to go to the hospital, spent a month there, then I found out.
Tiana also says that being in the hospital was the hardest obstacle she had to face.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. Spent a lot of time in the hospital by myself with a lot of older and sick people because I wasn't on the children's ward because I'm older, so I had to spend a lot of time with the adults. Seeing a lot of people died, you know. It was hard.
Tiana's mother says seeing her daughter suffer broke her heart, but not her faith.
The pain you see a child going through, the tote of blood bag rot, and they can't use the bathroom, vomiting every day, headaches, screaming in pain almost every night, and you home, but you know she at the hospital, but you can't sleep there with her. If I could, I would. But to know your daughter go through all of this, and you can't. If it was me, I would put myself in that shoe. I don't know how she dealt with it.
The Tiffany Treasure Hope Foundation partnered with PET CT International to help lower the medical cost. And Tiana's mom says for that she is eternally grateful, especially being a single mother.
If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to get the scan done. They paid half of it. I only had to come up with the other half, and that saved me so much. I don't know, I still would have probably been trying to save the money up to the day. And in less than a week, they got us straight, and she was able to do the scan.
Tiana says no matter how she has suffered, God was always there.
Like, I learned to rely more on God more than anything because He was there through the nights that I had to stay by myself in the hospital. He was there with me.
Though Tiana has dealt with this trial in her life, she trusts that God will continue to help her through this journey. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Catherine Gomez.
Well, Fisher, a lot is going on in sports this morning. It's Regatta time.
And as you can see in the background, we are going live to J. Philippe's Grand Bahama Regatta this coming weekend.
That and more ahead in sports.
This is a PSA from We Buy, You Sell. The protection of your businesses, homes, and families is very important. We Buy, You Sell offers the best in hurricane impact windows and doors designed to withstand all categories of hurricanes, with prices beating our competitors by up to 50%. We also specialize in porcelain, mosaic, and plank tiles. We Buy, You Sell. Located at number 163 Robinson Road. Call 677-2856 or 324-6427. We Buy, You Sell. Come and see us today.
Good morning once again. Before we get to Regatta, since being elected president of the NACAC region, Mike Sands has been a very busy man on the run. 2 weeks after being elected to head the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Confederation, we were able to slow him down to find out just how things have been going.
And right now there's a transitional period. I've met with President Victor Lopez and we're discussing the transitional process. And then once that is taken place, then we will do some other assessments to determine our next step. But we do have a plan in place where we intend to focus on the individual member federations, which has always been my message, that we're going to try and strengthen each member federation. We're going to conduct a SWOT analysis of each member federation to determine where we need to strengthen them so that together we can grow the area even stronger. I'm thanking everybody, those that supported me. I had to go back the same way I took the time to speak to every member federation by communication, whether it was email or WhatsApp or telephone. I've been taking the time now to go back and thanking all of them for the support, and then to let them know that the work has now only just begun.
Well, it's all about the Grand Bahama Regatta this coming weekend. Smith's Point will be the place to be. And that's where we find our Jay Philippe up and early this morning checking out the scene. Good morning, Jay.
Thank you, Fisher. Good morning to you as well. Beautiful morning here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. We're just 2 days away from the 24th annual Grand Bahama Regatta and Homecoming. This event is expected to be perhaps the best regatta in Grand Bahama's history. And I have with me this morning Shavita Campbell, who is the chairman of this year's Grand Bahama Regatta. And she's going to give us a little insight as to what persons can expect when they get out here on Friday morning.
Good morning, Grand Bahama, and good morning, Bahamas. And yes, welcome to Smith's Point. The 24th annual Grand Bahama Regatta and Homecoming will be hosted in this settlement. And this year, we are proud to say that we will have 10 C-class sloops and 5 E-class sloops. And those sloops hail from all over the islands of the Bahamas. And nonetheless, when you come to Smith's Point, you will be able to enjoy yourself with the conch salad, the arts and craft, the on-shore activity. We have kiddies corners. You could leave your kids in one area and you could walk the whole settlement of Smith's Point. And, you know, to let you all know that Grand Bahama, we have heard the cry. We have our own E-class sloop. So you can come out and you have a sloop to cheer for now, Grand Bahama. And that is I Can't Believe It by Luther Ferguson. So we want you to come out in the next 2 days. Friday, we have our skipper's party. We have our entertainment, and we have sailing going on as well. So from day straight into night, Smith's Point is going to be alive. You don't have to worry about anything. We have tents prepared for you for the cool area so you can watch the races. As well as Saturday, the same thing. We have sailing going on, and we have entertainment in the night. And you can walk anywhere in Smith's Point, and you can enjoy the Bahamian delicious delights.
Shavita, in the past, however, the regatta was held on Tino Beach, but this year it's going to be in Smith's Point. What's the idea behind holding this event right here in Smith's Point?
Well, the idea is that Tino Beach is very open, and so Smith's Point is more settlement, community-oriented, and so persons feel more coming home to something that they can feel enlightened to. They can now walk Smith's Point. And so in walking Smith's Point, they'll always feel like, you know, I'm at Regatta, I'm having fun, my hat is on, I have my slippers, and I'm eating the conch salad, the conch fritters, and everything else.
There you have it. So, Charles, you have 2 more days to still make it to Freeport. We're waiting on you. The 24th annual Grand Bahama Regatta begins this Friday at 11 a.m. Back to you, Charles.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Still waiting on you to send my ticket. Now I'm going to throw it over to my sailing mate, LaDawn Davis, for a wrap-up.
Thanks a lot, Fisher. That's a wrap for us today. Make sure to join us tomorrow when we continue our Independence Clue-In. So tune in and look for the clues in each morning edition newscast up to July 26th and be the winner of a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Call Charles Fisher on Friday morning after this newscast at 502-3880 with the answers in the correct order. I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day, everyone.